Hey, welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. It's SMA Live in the afternoon. It's Mallory Woods, and I have a special guest right here with us. It is UFC Super Sage Northcutt. Sage, thank you for taking the time out of your training camp to join us.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's good to have you back. The first time we had you on the program, it was audio only, so it's good to see you. I know it's a treat for all the ladies out there watching. You got the guns out. You're looking good. How's training camp coming so far?
Oh, thanks. Training camp's going great. I have my fight coming up July 14th, and that's in Boise, Idaho. So it's getting close, and I'm training hard.
Yeah, you coming up this UFC Fight Night 133 out in Boise, Idaho. I think you told me you've only been out there one time before, but it's going to be a good night. You got a couple teammates on that card with you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I have Chad Mendez, who actually hasn't fought in a little while, so he's coming back, which is going to be awesome to fight with him on the card. And Chad Mendez, Rick Glenn, and then Darren Elkins. So three other teammates from Team Alpha Male.
That is going to be a great alpha male show. In fact, while we're on that topic, you recently moved to Team Alpha Male in your last fight I was watching. I saw you do this ridiculously awesome double leg, and I was like, oh, man, it's working. This is great. Wrestling's going good. How has it been moving to Team Alpha Male, being around Uriah Faber, as mentioned before, Chad Mendez, and everyone else from Team Alpha Male?
Oh, it's been super good. The thing is, you have such good training partners. So, like, for instance, Chad Mendez, Darren Elkins. You have people that wrestle for the Olympics and the Olympic team, Olympic wrestlers, boxers. There's everybody that's so well-rounded and great. You have the person that's a champion, Cody Garbrandt, and Uriah Faber. So the teammates incredible. It's like iron sharpens iron. And then everybody's so positive and helpful. So every single day you get better.
I think that's a great camp, a great fit for you. One of the things I wanted to ask, obviously, we know you're from your sport karate background. You're an excellent striker. There's actually, let me shoot this photo up real quick. There's a great picture of you on Team Full Circle in the gi, which I had on my last show. We were talking about Team Full Circle. What do you think, if you had to give yourself an assessment, what did you think you really needed to work on when you first started MMA? What was the area that you think you needed improvement on?
I would have to say it'd be the transitions. So individually, you have the striking alone, you have the wrestling alone, the submissions with the jiu-jitsu alone. If it's karate, kickboxing, whatever it might be, you have each of those separately, but transition it together. So going from the strikes to the takedown, or if you get taken down, popping right back up, or getting to the cage and the cage work. So that would be the biggest thing, I think, I had to say.
That is, especially groundwork is going to be very challenging for a striker, no matter what your background with his Muay Thai, even if you come in as a boxer, and I agree with you, those seamless transitions. Who do you really like, going back to Alpha Male, who's your go-to guy if you say, hey, I need to work on this, I need to work on my wizard, I need to work on my standing switch, I need to work on this. Who's your go-to guy to help you out at Team Alpha Male?
Oh, man, everybody's so good there, and everybody's so helpful. But if I had to say one person, it would have to be Uriah Faber because it's his gym, and he has so much experience. He's one of the best UFC Hall of Famer, and he's always there pretty much helping out and working one-on-one with me and hands-on. So it definitely helps out, and to have him to lean on and ask him questions.
A big tip of the hat to Mr. Faber. In fact, he was a guy when I first started watching the WC, I didn't know that much about him, and I saw him, I saw his entrance, the California kid that comes in and he just puts on a show, and I was like, man, I got to watch this guy. And he's just been fantastic to watch. What is it like, the transition for him? He's retired, but I read somewhere that he said if the right fight comes along, he'll be back.
Right.
Is he staying in shape? Is he out there working still hard?
Oh, yeah, are you kidding me? Yeah, he rolls with the top guys in the gym right now, and he's always staying in shape. He eats healthy, and he's always training. So definitely.
That is another great transition. Diet and fitness. I mean, now I'll go ahead and mention this right now. Here's a disclaimer. Now, last year in Las Vegas, the SMA crew was down there for the martial arts super show, and there was a pose-off between yours truly and Super Sage Northcutt. That's on our Instagram. I'd like to say I won it, but, I'm probably biased. But going into the diet and fitness, you're known for your ridiculously crazy chisel out of stone body. What is it like? Is it a daily lifestyle? I mean, give me a second. What did you eat today?
Oh, thanks. You know what? Actually, I just had food delivered yesterday from a company called Trifecta, so that makes it pretty easy because I always eat super healthy and lean. So I was out of eggs this morning, so I ate grilled turkey, and then I had some carbohydrates. I drink a shake, and my shakes always get it from the broader nutrition, so I get a little bit of protein before training.
Man, I'm telling you, and we're gonna put some pictures up while we continue to discuss. Here's a picture of you, obviously weight cutting. Tell everybody what that's like. What is it like to cut weight? For example, your next fight, which is for the aforementioned, there was a little bit of late people coming in. It's going to be UFC Fight Night 133, July 14th in Boise, Idaho. You're going back up to 170. What is it like? Obviously, it's a little bit more weight, but how bad a cut is it for you to get down to 170?
You know what? Getting down to 170 will be way easier than 155 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The last few pounds of 155 is really tough for me because my body, I guess, stopped sweating almost close to that weight.
Mm-hmm.
But 170 should be definitely easier. I'm getting to walk around heavier, a lot stronger, and getting to eat more food. So my training's going better. My performance should be better out there in the octagon. And but definitely anybody that cuts weight would know if you're a wrestler, if you're an MMA fighter, or if you're cutting weight for karate, sport karate, whatever it might be. The cutting weight, it can't be easy, but if you do the right things, it definitely helps out.
And the right things, of course, is eating the right things. Half the battle of that is won in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
On that topic, there has been, if you watch MMA, specifically the UFC, and also in Bellator and other organizations, there's always that challenge of the weigh-in for fight night. For example, today there's a UFC event this weekend, and for the championship fight, Yoel Romero, he missed his weigh-in by 0.2 pounds. The UFC does something now where they allow fighters to weigh in the morning, and then they do really a ceremonial weigh-in in the evening. What do you like that to go ahead and get the weight cut out of the way, and then you can rehydrate later on the day, or do you like it the way it was before, where you just weigh in the evening?
You know what? I think the UFC's partnered with something called USADA, which is the
Mm-hmm.
United States Anti-Doping Administration, and they're the ones who randomly drug test the people for the UFC, the Olympics, and all the sports around pretty much. So uh, having the weigh-ins in the morning, I believe it was their choice to have in the morning, so that way you have more time in between after you
Mm-hmm.
weigh in to be able to recover your body and rehydrate, so you stay safer out there when you fight.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you perform better out there. So it was their choice. I think it's really cool. But either way, whatever it's going to be, I think all the fighters will adapt to it. So
Now, that obviously, like I said, weighing, and missing weight has been actually in the headlines a couple weeks ago. Wonder Boy fought Darren Till, who missed weight by a good amount, and then the fight before that, the young lady in Brazil, whose name escapes me, came in really big overweight. Now you're gonna forfeit some of your fighter's purse to the other fighter, and it's also optional for you if, let's say, if we and I are fighting, I come in grossly overweight because I'm not going to make 155 or 170 right now, but you have that option to take the fight. If you have your fighter that misses weight, how much pressure is it on you to take that fight?
actually talking about that, my very first fight in the UFC coming in
Mm-hmm.
was at 155. My opponent missed weight by almost 5 pounds, I believe. He weighed
I
in like
remember that.
60 something, and then he ended up testing positive for something afterwards. I don't know what it was, but him missing weight, I mean, it was close enough to the weight. It was only 5 pounds. I was like, you know what? I'm definitely going to go out there and fight. I've trained the whole entire time out here. I put the effort in. So I believe that the fighters are there to fight, and that if it is close enough, if it's not like 20-pound difference or
Right,
something,
right.
that the fighters have trained so hard that they'll be ready to fight and they'll take it.
It is interesting. Also, I know you had a string of almost like bad luck, and some of your fights. There was one you had a severe sinus infection. You had you were sick, and you still went on and took those fights. I mean, how much do you think that means to the organization, so they don't have to scrap the fight? With bad luck, you get sick right before, or the week of the fight. But how much do you think it means to them that you're a company guy, you're going to go out there and soldier on?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, maybe I should have withdrawn from the fight and called the fight and shouldn't have fought for those because I was so sick. I actually had to go to the hospital, and I had extreme strep throat for several fights, and actually ended up, after a few fights, my tonsils taken out of my throat because they were always infected.
Mm-hmm.
But I think stepping out there and wanting to put on a great show for everybody and all the fans that are watching is so important, especially for the UFC, because that's what they like to see. So I wanted to step up and still fight, even though maybe the performance wasn't the best out there. Maybe maybe I had to move up a weight class last minute on 2 days' notice, and I
Mm-hmm.
lost the fight. But whatever it was, I wanted to go out there and put on a great show, and that's what I try to do.
That is always admirable because, you like I said, people they paid money, they traveled to come see you and everything. Let's see. One thing I was gonna moving on to ask you about also, when you put yourself out here as a fighter, any sports athlete, anybody just really just in general media, you have to deal with people in social media. Now, a lot of times there can be just anybody can create a Twitter account, Facebook, etc. And a lot of people out there love to hate. They just lob just hate grenades all the time. How do you deal with that? You'll put a picture out on social media and like 2 lines in there's somebody spouting some garbage. How do
Oh
you
yeah,
do
you know what? I mean, there's always people that are going to say something. You could be saying something positive out there, and they find a way to say something negative, or whatever it might be. You always have people that have your back, and there's always people that maybe want to say negative things or try to push you down. But you can't really focus on that. I mean, think about the people that are there to support you. If it's your family, or if it's like you that I'm talking to right now in the interview,
it?
or if it's my dog, maybe whatever
Hmm.
it might be. You have to look at the positive things and the good things that are there for you all the time, and think about that.
That is one thing definitely to mention. And also here there's a good picture of Colby, who I've actually seen Colby more than USR at the Irish Open, and I've seen her it was somewhere else. But with her and Raymond being a couple right now, you get to see Raymond. Did you get a chance to train with Raymond Daniels?
Yes, actually, I went down there and stayed with him, and I think it was Orange, California. And
Mm-hmm.
I stayed with him and Colby for a little bit and hung out and trained and got to have fun. But Raymond's awesome. He's has so much technique, and Bellator World Kickboxing Champion. He's incredible.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got the credentials. It's been great to watch him and Colby out there. She supports him so much, and they just work hand in hand together. Here's an excellent picture of your dog who I saw earlier. No one else here saw it. What's this
Nice.
pup's name?
Oh, Maverick. His name's Maverick.
And what kind of dog is he?
He's a Dutch Shepherd.
Dutch Shepherd.
Yeah.
It's a pretty looking dog right there.
Oh,
Well,
thanks.
let me see. I know that you're still in training camp, but again, I said I want to be respectful of your time. One other thing we're going to touch on, which is definitely near and dear to your heart, whenever you are being interviewed after your matches, you always have your faith first and foremost. And a lot of people, again, they can take things, they can pick negative connotations, but your faith plays a huge part in your training and your life itself. How well do you attribute your faith and your beliefs to helping you get where you are and to taking you where you want to go?
You know what? For me, it's everything. I mean, I know that God has the right timing. So a lot of times, us just walking around as normal people, I guess, on the earth in our flesh, like humans, we want everything to happen like on our time. Maybe if it's to be the UFC world champion, or if it's to go win your tournament or competition that you're winning, or your training session. Maybe you're trying to win that, or it's your work. But God has the right timing. So I kind of think about it like that, and also that God has the plans to prosper you, to give you hope in the future. So I always try to think about those two things, and definitely try to keep God first every single day. And whether if it's starting my day off praying, or if I'm starting my day off reading God's word, reading the scripture, then it's that, or maybe I'm going to talk to my friends about God, whatever it might be. I try to keep God first for sure, and definitely everything that I've accomplished is because of Him.
That is 100% accurate. I've seen that in your life. I see one of the things that most people, when they see interviews like this of you, Sage is like this. This is Sage Northcutt. He's a very nice guy. I enjoyed hanging out with you in Las Vegas. Once again, everybody, UFC Fight Night, Boise, Idaho. Fight Night is going to be 133, but it's going to be on July 14th. Check your local listing, Sage. I will give you the last word. What do you want to leave us with?
All right. I just want to say thanks so much. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to my fight.
We'll be watching and cheering for you. Thank you again for your time. Sage Northcutt, everyone.
All right. Thank you.